So much of our lives, so much of our matrix is influenced by two groups called the Masons and the Eastern Stars. Although this video episode of Foundation for Elevation Station is not solely predicated on these two organizations, there are a few many branches from these organizations that are in essence extensions of the hierarchy. If you haven't heard of the Masons or the Eastern Stars, well, their exact origins are shrouded in mystery. It's so much misdirection with so much that it's hard to really identify much if you really are not part of these organizations. And as many people are that saying they're not. Even some big people, even some influencers on TV, they follow the directions of people that are part of these organizations even. Or they give them, and I don't want to delve into conspiracy theories. I want to be platonic. But it's rumored that the origins date all the way back to 1703. Probably a lot before then too. It just was under another title, another name. They do many things within our society, positive things. I will leave a lot unsaid because we know what comes along with power, the assertion of it. And sometimes you got to work with the negatives to make a better picture. It is what it is. Ain't that how you make photography? You take flicks. That's what you do. Got to work with the negatives, right? Can't even make a picture without it. Their core principles are charity work, brotherhood and sisterhood, and moral development. They will help guide their members into conducting themselves in a certain manner within the systems of society. Straight up. Now, they have so much potential areas of influence within our society. We see it. It could be your local banker, the policeman, even a property manager in that complex. They are people that want to join the hierarchy and assist in having power on a level that can influence their communities. I don't say evil. I don't say, bad, good. They are organized people. And who wouldn't want to join organizations that actually organize? Like, who wouldn't? It seems like it's written that way. Should be righteous in a perfect world, but we here on earth. Nah, they areas of influence that come from, they do things such as networking, philanthropy, and community involvement. This is the foundation to which they do what they do. They involve themselves in different ways without exactly exposing any ulterior motives, because the motives is to connect, to organize, to get things to go the way for the greater good of the organization. It's not hard to see. Now, I know it's a lot that goes on that I'm not going to speak on, but due to contrary belief, it's a lot of secrecy, a lot of planning, It's possibly rumored that it's like an elitist type of organization. We want to get to the tops of the food chain and get other people to step up, so we have that much more power. I fully understand, because it's only a natural thing, but it's very beautiful to have a certain degree of righteousness, of honor within it. If someone doesn't see life like you, or doesn't want to advance or organize like you, should they be used, abused, stepped on, pushed out the way? It's just a question. I don't think so. I would rule with a certain degree of honor, choice, upfrontness, straightforwardness. But I'm just me. I'm the man that would try his best to create, I guess, a more perfect world. I think we doing real good at this point. High 60%. I think it's a long way to go, but I think this is probably the most beautiful that it has ever been. Nothing too out of control. Things are pretty organized. I studied a lot of points in history, and I can estimate and guesstimate how certain things were transpired with Atlantis, with all type of societies that have risen and fallen. But now I hope we can move forward without, concealing knowledges, about past societies or what we have planned. I hope we can, as a whole humanity, move forward on a level of straightforwardness, honesty. I keep saying these words mean so much to me, the act of them, not just a word. It takes from my spirit to be around a person and they have ulterior motives. I have met other people, may not be like me, but I have met people that were pure of spirit, like literally. It ain't many of us. I'm going to continue to be pure, and I'm not going to let you taint me. I'm going to keep it real. I'm going to keep it transparent. And I know nothing but honesty. It's important for us to begin to see how we are able to have a degree of higher moral standards. We are at a place where we can separate from the deceptions. We could separate from people that's pushing for certain agendas right in our community. I think, how can we live and see people that are banking for not only our downfall, but to plug into a way of using you at the benefit of themselves? Like, how can I do business with a person like that? I envision a place in the future where we are way more honest. We are way more of a one type of people, finding common ground on multiple levels and pushing forward and forging the existence of the kingdoms that's only part of our dreams, with a degree of peace, with a degree of, I know it sounds old fashioned, but genuine love. And I know it ain't gonna be everybody, but hey, let's cut out the deception. It takes me back to why I made this. I had the reason why I know so much about the Masons. I know so much about the Eastern Stars because I had two prominent members in my family. A few more, but I just talk about the two that is gone. My mother's mother, my grandmother, she was an Eastern Star, and they had her in like a clinic in the 70s, the 60s and 70s, where women of the community would go bring their children. And my grandmother, she was deep in the church, and she even had the crew. Excuse me. Hold on. She had power going down. I'm finna get out of here, get another workout in. She she was deep off into the stuff. And what she did one time, my mother, she had learning disability things in school, and they thought my mom wasn't gonna be all right, and she remembered them putting her in a circle. My mom remembered, and they was like doing chants and stuff, and certain rituals, um, and said, I found out later that my grandma was doing like making certain agreements that would bind our families, certain members, to some other future things. And my grandmother worked in that clinic, and she would have to do things. I don't know if it was to the children, like to the mothers. She's doing some dark things, and it bothered her somewhat that she talked about it sometimes. My uncle, my actually blood father's brother, he was a professor at some college, a professor at college university at somewhere in Little Rock, Arkansas. He was from here. Um, he just passed away not long ago. And I talked to him maybe 5 years ago on the phone, and I say, man, I've just been going through a tough time. I'm like, man, this is what's going on. It's thousands of people that come and follow me and watch me every day. This is what's going on. I say, I see them. It's thousands of people. And he went on to tell me, what was going on with me, giving me a little insight. And he told me that he was part of it. He told me, he said, man, I just got back with the Masons. He was like, I really wasn't gone, but he told me, he was like, I went dormant for over 20 years. I say, dormant? And he told me, he was like, when he got into it, the things they was asking him to do, and he was just a fourth degree. They go by degrees of knowledge and I guess duty. So I guess it go up to 33. They said the 33rd just something, he got replaced or something recently. But anyway, they said my uncle was just a fourth degree, and he said when he was younger, like 20 years earlier, he didn't want to do the things or participate in the things that they had him doing. He told me this like 5 years ago. And he said when he just retired from teaching, his money was funny. So he kind of got back into it after being dormant for so long. And he just said, I'm telling you, me and him was crying on the phone. He was like, man, I can't, man, this stuff is just not right. He was like, I'm a good man, and I can't bring myself to do these things. And I'm crying, telling him about, how G.I. Joe and Cobra Commander was following me around with thousands of people to help him. Like, it was just, we was just both crying straight up. I was in a bar at the time, quiet bar, afternoon. It was right before happy hour. I think that we have to be aware that things is going on around us, that people are having conversations and have motives, ulterior motives on top of more motives. I'm not a conspiracy theorist. I'm not speaking about anything negative. I'm talking about the structure of humanity, the structure of our communities. Like this is what's going down, and at the end of the day, God is good. Like it is so impressive on the organizational skills of the Freemasonry and the Eastern Stars. I think that they, do a damn great job in the things that they do, on the front side of the coin and the back side of the coin. But I think that being as though technically straight down, my rank is pretty high. Pretty damn high. It's something that I don't get any fulfillment from, because the position of my life, it is what it is. So I don't like try to put my stake to claim for fame about the whole situation. But if I meet you, this is any Eastern Star, any Mason, man, I love you, but recognize, man, like I don't think anything, and and I know y'all looked all at my past and know that I am the real. If I'm worth $5, like point blank, whether I'm broke or I'm up, I'm that dude that really believe in itself. Maybe not for what you want me to believe, but for in and of itself, straight up. So don't ever come in my company and try to disrespect me or try to whip out no entitlement. I'm a good dude, like good old slow cooked food. So don't play me, man. I love you, but don't play me.